Welcome back to Silent Hill Ascension. We are here at the post show. I'm Noah and this is Layla. We both stayed, Noah and Layla, even though a lot has transpired. So, Layla, that was crazy. What did we just watch?
Well, Noah, I can tell you what we didn't watch. We did not see the return of Orson. That boy is still at large.
He's missing. I don't know where that boy is. And it also seems like they gave up the search and they're more getting into recovery now, which is sad and stressful.
Well, and says she's getting into recovery. I don't think Astrid's anywhere close to giving up. And not only is Astrid not close to giving up, a new challenger has entered the fray. The mysterious Brit, the one from the telephone call. She's here now too.
And she's sober.
And she's sober.
Watch out, world. Watch out, world, because she can do anything she sets her mind to now with her newfound sobriety. Shout out to Brit. Good on you, sister. But yeah, she's finally there. Like, even though Astrid kind of like tried to have her there earlier, and now somehow Brit is kind of blaming her for like, why didn't you tell me to come early? Like, I did. But
sisters, Noah.
Sisters. Well, you know, graphics, could you show us the cameo? Because that's a very important aspect of Silent Hill Ascension. We have our cameo system, and you as the audience can be a part of Silent Hill canon forever, as some of you have seen and done, and we are always grateful for what you've done there with your performances. Each day, you and other audience members can enter a cameo contest to have parts in the series, and you enter that contest with your influence points. So yeah, we just saw we had our endurance streams, and you know, this is a great way to get influence points. But yeah, we have a missing boy. We have two missing children. We didn't talk about Faith in the scenes we saw now, so I don't know what's going on there. But we do have Orson missing. Very stressful.
Very stressful. Faith also missing, also stressful. Listen, I would rather not be either parent right now. Both Astrid and Rachel are not taking this well, as they shouldn't be. You know, I would be worried if they were chill. But I think we're actually speaking, aside from Rachel, there's another parent we're not talking about. I think we got something for Eric today, Noah, if you would care to introduce the video.
I keep forgetting that he's a parent. Silly me. But we're seeing the video that premiered today where Eric frees himself from the other world, and Krista gets really pissed because the withering hasn't stopped. But she is helping Eric and beating the monster, which is helpful. But the withering hasn't stopped. So whoops, Toby died for nothing.
Beans. It's truly like, yeah, what more is it gonna take, Noah? Two dead guys? You know, it's poor Toby.
Poor Toby, I feel so bad. But Toby did choose via our audience choice to sacrifice himself. He wasn't forced to do it, you know.
That's true.
Only emotionally very pressured and abused. But, you know, nobody put a gun to his head. Emotional abuse is abuse.
I was gonna say they didn't put a gun to his head, but they did put the threat of monster to his head, which could be just as effective depending on who you are. But yeah, here we saw Eric and Krista. Krista came to do some more flirting, apparently, right? Though she did kind of, I don't know if you caught it, but she did drop that Xavier said we shouldn't let anything happen to Eric.
She did drop it. She did drop it.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? What do you mean? Why are we protecting Eric? All of a sudden, very curious. Can't wait to find out more. But she came. Eric wasn't really having any of it with her. And then I think maybe after she helped him untangle himself from the awful, wily limbs of that creature, perhaps, maybe there's a chance for some friendship or, hey, for some escandalo.
Por some scandalo, we don't know. It could just be a wonderful, wonderful friendship. But I don't know. She does have dreamy eyes, and Eric is coming to his own. So TBD, we are going to see. But lucky that they got out of the other world, because I really like Eric has a lot on his mind right now. He was just trying to do his laundry and get his mind off of his daughter being missing and his best friend dying. But then he gets all entangled with these monsters again, and I feel bad for him. But really, Astrid, I see her pain. You know, I really see her pain looking for her son.
Yeah, as we said, both parents around the globe looking for their kids. Not great, but we have speaking of which, we have a decision graphic to throw up if production would indulge me, which is how will Carl tell Astrid they're giving up the search? With compassion, the redemption option, tough love, which is the suffering option, or keep her in the dark, the damnation option. Interesting here that being tough with Orson was the redemption option, but being compassionate towards Astrid is also the redemption option. Got a little contrast here.
Right. And there really is no easy way to say that they've given up on your child. So either of these options are not going to be comfortable for Carl, I'm sure. But the tough love approach, I wonder what that entails. Like, how can you tough love somebody who lost well, maybe it's like, snap out of it. Like, how do you envision the suffering option here?
Listen, I don't know if I can envision the suffering option, because if you rephrase it, he's saying snap out of looking for my grandson. Like, all of these are so uncomfortable because he has a proverbial horse in this boy race, which is to say it's his grandkid.
Right. It is his grandkid. And also, well, like, Astrid was trying to get back the hunter doll that the audience chose that she would give Orson a couple weeks ago. And obviously Haugen did not let her because it's evidence. But, she's just trying to cling to whatever she has left. But speaking of Norway, let's talk about what we had so far in case y'all missed it. We had a lot going on. Layla, can you shine a light, please?
Yes. So if you missed the pre-show, let's go over Norway once more, which is to say, Carl and Mette make out after Carl gives Mette Ingrid's ring. Carl and Astrid find a burned out clearing while searching for Orson, but no other signs of the boy. And then Astrid continues the search for Orson until she is forced to stop, which, as we found out, took 3 days, and the arrival of her sister.
Yeah, is 3 days a long time or a little time when it comes to searching for a little boy? I would say it's a little time.
Yeah, I think in the context of searching for a lost child, it's not enough time. But in the context of wandering in the woods when it's cold, that's a very long time.
Right, but you would think, having lived in Norway, that maybe they will get used to it. But no, alas.
No.
But as you know, sometimes the place we were born, we never get used to it, and we have to go here to America. But but anyway, we did have Brit coming into the story. We did hear her on the phone before. We heard her. She didn't want to come to her mother's funeral, but now she shows up because her nephew is missing, and she does care about his nephew. And I want to know about her salacious drinking history, because I picked up that she's sober, and I want to know what kind of rancid stuff she got into before then.
Yeah, so, I mean, we know that, we've referenced before that there's been some behavior from the Johansson family, so I wonder if Brit's behavior, right, it was the thing they were alluding to. But on the other hand, go girl. She went, she got sober, she's setting boundaries, and we love to see it. Like, earnestly, that
Honestly,
takes a lot of willpower.
Dude, for real, it's a lot of work what she did there. Like, refusing to go to her mother's funeral, I'm sure it was tough on her too. But she knew she wouldn't last it sober. But now her sobriety is going to be put to the test because her nephew is missing, and she's right back at it's trauma place. So let's talk about Pennsylvania in case you weren't here with us at the pre-show. Layla, please walk us through it.
Over in Pennsylvania, where another child is missing, this time Faith, Rachel tells Xavier that Faith is missing and asks him for advice. Eric sassily memorializes Toby at the bar. And then Krista confronts Eric in the laundromat after his toast at the bar before they're pulled into a confrontation in the other world, which we just saw them very narrowly escape from. Okay, we've talked a lot about Orson, we talked a lot about Astrid. Hey, just listen, this is perhaps petty of me. I don't know if laundry is the chore I would go for if my kid was missing, because laundry is where I go to think. It's where I go to ruminate.
Right.
That's gonna make it worse, Eric, my boy.
I know, yeah, no, it's not a good place. You just watch it washing away your thoughts, like your circular thoughts are being reflected in the washing machine. It's no, I would honestly, I would go. What I would do, I would take a one. No, what can you do? Your child is missing.
You go look for the kid. No,
you go. Oh, I forgot that option. But maybe he's afraid, like, honestly, have you seen the police involved in Pennsylvania? No, you haven't. And I think it's because they are engaged in some weird foundation activities and might not want to rope in the police. This is complete fan fiction now. I do not know. I'm like completely just making this up. But I didn't see no police there.
Yeah, you go, everybody can go on your favorite fanfiction site of choice and find Noah's Sin City Hope Junction Nights fanfiction. Yeah, it's a lot. Listen, at least Rachel's out there. She's pounding pavement. She's looking for that kid. Now, if I were in her shoes, would I go to the, again, pyramid-shaped self-improvement scheme leader that I serve? Or would I maybe go to my husband for assistance? I think I'd go for the husband. I think I'd maybe go to the laundromat. But, what can I say? Rachel, she makes choices. And speaking of choices, so does the audience.
Right. Let's talk about the decisions that the audience made so far. We had some very, very dramatic things happening.
Absolutely, and we got some graphics to emphasize the drama. So, at the bar, how will Eric memorialize Toby? He will deliver his spiteful send-off, which is the redemption choice. How will Carl keep Orson calm during the funeral? Be strict. Again, the redemption choice to be strict to the kid. And then how will Astrid eulogize her mother? Say she was a monster. Once again, the redemption choice. A lot of redeeming in this graphic. Sometimes we get a little variety. Right now we got a straight roll to redemption.
Right, it's a goody two redemption shoes here, everybody. But but the redemption options were really salacious. It was like calling your dead mother a monster. We had like people dying and being sassy about, like, we're being sassy about people's deaths. Yeah, a lot has gone on, and the audience decisions really drove this to where we are now. And maybe Carl shouldn't have been strict with the boy if we didn't want him to go missing. But like, I don't know. The thing is, it's so complex, everything we decide here. I have no idea. But like, I don't know. Like, maybe Orson ran off because Carl was too strict. But I think kids are spoiled, and you should discipline them gently.
All right.
Gently.
Gently. Yeah, so who knows? Who's to say, right? Perhaps maybe he would have found a different way to run off. But I think the interesting thing we should also highlight is that the first choice we talked about, which is how will Eric memorialize Toby, was a choice for Eric, right? We haven't had a decision for Eric until recently, until Toby has vacated the slot, so to speak. And now Eric gets some time with the audience, time for the audience to kind of build an Eric, if you would. So I'm curious to see what his upcoming decisions will be.
And we will see. I was gonna say he gets his time in the sun, but he really gets his time in the fog.
Yeah, not a lot of sun to be seen around these parts.
Not a lot of sun, and but yeah, we are seeing Eric become more and more prominent here in the story. And you did mention that maybe it would have made sense for him and his wife to kind of like talk.
Listen, maybe it's the judgmental auntie in me, but I'm just saying.
Just saying, you're right. How did I not even think about it? Because I already gave up. But then don't wonder when you leave your husband to do laundry, when you're like, she probably told him, don't join me, as I know, Rachel. But I don't know. I don't want to be blaming here. But I'm just saying that Krista is seeing an opportunity and Rachel is sleeping on watch. Can't blame anybody for what happens next. But also, we do have a decision that is open today. Production, could you please pull up the graphic for today's decision? And Layla, could you please? You are doing such an amazing job reading things. Could you please do it again?
I'd love to. Yeah, so we're going to revisit today's decision in case you missed it. How will Carl tell Astrid they're giving up the search? Once again, with compassion, redemption, tough love, suffering, or keep her in the dark, damnation. And honestly, the more I ruminate on it, the more I sit here and think about it, the more it makes sense that being tough with Orson, who's been a little bit wily, a little bit out of pocket for as long as we've known him, you'd want to be strict with him. But with Astrid, who maybe needs the gentleness after her life, you'd be a little gentle with her. But yeah, we also have, speaking of talking about missing children, right? We got a choice coming up tomorrow, which is what will Rachel tell Eric about Faith's disappearance, right along the same line. Foundation failed us, I lost her, or have faith. That's redemption, suffering, damnation there. Man, not a single comfortable conversation to be conceived.
No, but at least we have the husband and wife communicating finally over the disappearance of their daughter. So at least we are going to see something happening there that's not a completely detached pair of people being hounded by the fear of their lost daughter. But yeah, we did, please tune in to that decision. We're not gonna have a pre-show and a post-show tomorrow, but make sure you keep an eye out on that because that one is a big one and it has our boy Eric, which as we mentioned is becoming more and more prominent here. So be sure to catch that. But yeah, we have the children missing, we have tough love everywhere, we have a lot of like Astrid, you know, you're right, she really can't catch a break. I'm still shocked that Brit kind of like, I feel like she was blaming. I don't know, I feel like Brit was blaming.
Younger siblings, man. It's them against the world, and I get it. Again, I'm Team Brit. I think she's, you know, she's tough as nails. She did what she had to do, and then she came back home when she heard her nephew was missing, and that's the important part. She goes about that, well, we love a little bit of mess, so even if Astrid can't catch a break, and I do like Astrid, seeing some ribbing between siblings, sometimes that's necessary. That's growth.
It sure is. It sure is. And good thing that Orson and Faith are single children, because I don't know if any of these parents should have more. But yeah, we're coming up. We're closing to wrap. So let's talk about what happened here. We have the children missing. We will keep looking / sending a recovery mission for their body parts. We will see, but it doesn't look good right now. We don't know where they are. It's really, really cold. There's fogs, there's monsters. Please do though stick around in the app between the episodes. We have the wonderful puzzles you can play, and let's throw to the graphic of our schedule here. So We're gonna meet you again here on the pre-show on Wednesday. We are here at the pre-show at 5:40 Pacific time PM on Wednesdays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We have the show every weekday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and we have the post shows right after that on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And I really, really do miss you in the in-betweenies. But for now, Leila and I must go tend to some international espionage business. We will miss you. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Until next time.